students, in last classes we learned second chapter, that is organization of data. So in organization of data we learned kinds of data, that is primary data, secondary data, and how to collect the primary data and where all we can collect the secondary data, that is the sources of secondary data, published sources, unpublished sources, and methods of collecting direct, that is primary data, direct observation or indirect oral interview, and mailed questionnaire, schedules sent through enumerators and through agency. By these 5 different ways we can collect the primary data, and also we learned there what are the points to be remembered in preparation of questionnaire to collect the data, and what are the steps in collection of data, planning and execution of the plan. And also we learned there sampling methods. So there are different kinds of sampling methods. Simple random sample, where we pick the random directly. Best method is the lottery method. So among the few chits we pick one. So whoever comes, we collect data from that person. And second one, systematic sampling, where we arrange the applicants in a order, maybe by assigning a number or alphabetical order. Then by selecting one, the range out of total population. So we select how many people should give the response. Based on that we collect the data by taking a range, and first sample we select by picking the chit. Then onwards, with that same gap, we go on collecting data from that particular population. That is systematic sampling. Then comes stratified sampling. So stratified sampling, where heterogeneous population, it is divided into homogeneous groups, and those groups are called as stratas. So from these strata we select a few samples from each strata and we collect the data. If you take number of banks and different group of workers working in different level there, level A, level B, level C, or category A, category B, C, like that. So we divide them in separate groups. So then we collect information from them. From each group we select few samples and we collect the information. So that is what stratified sampling is. Then we learned sampling error. So origin of kinds of sampling error and what is the cause for sampling error. So, and biased error, unbiased error, absolute error, and relative error. Those are the measures of statistical error. So these are things we learned in last chapter. Now we'll move to next chapter, that is classification and tabulation. Classification and tabulation. Now first let us come to classification. What is classification? So there we collected the data, we learned how to collect the data, and by applying those all methods we will collect the data. After collection of data, what happens? So once we collect the data, there will be huge number of question banks, questionnaires, filled questionnaires. From them we have to extract the data, and that is not an easy task. If the investigator wants a final result, so we cannot give him a bundle of questionnaires. So there is the information in this, just go on reading. No, we can't tell. So what we do, we classified the data based on homogeneous characters. Then we simplify them. We put in a table form, or you may present it in the form of graph, or maybe in the diagram. And then we go for calculations and all, analyzing and all. So in this chapter, we learn classification. So first, classifying the data based on their homogeneous characteristics. So here definition is given by book. Classification is the process of arranging the data in a group or classes according to common characteristics possessed by the items of the data. So according to the same characteristics. So maybe that is the height of the student, means all the heights will be written one side. Along with the height, we may collect some other information also. So in which batch he is studying, which college he is studying, then what is his 10th percentage, what is his weight. So different aspects we collect. Just if you want the height of the student, just we don't go and collect the height of the student. So that also we learned in the questionnaire itself given in the book, that is Kannada medium or English medium. So how about the implementation of English medium in the school level, primary school level? So there we never asked directly to the respondent whether you wish to start the English medium in first standard itself. So we never asked. We asked a few things also along with that. What is the qualification of their parents, from which state they are belongs to, what is their mother tongue. Then at the end we asked why they are preparing for English medium or non-English medium. So like that here, different aspects will be asked. They should be classified based on their characteristics. Qualification. So all qualification, SSLC, PUC, degree, post-graduation, and etc. They will be written one side. Then from which state they are belongs to, they should be written in separate table. And like that, different aspects will be written in separate tables here. And so this is what process of classifying the collected data from the respondent. So here Horace Sechrist, he defines that classification is the process of arranging the data into sequences and groups according to their common characteristics, or separating them into the different but related part. So here he is telling the same thing again. He is telling, so sequence, according to the sequence, and group, that is which have common characteristics, they will be written separately, and they are different but related to one aspect only. Remember here, so that English medium, we are asking their qualification. That qualification leads us why they are selecting for either English medium or Kannada medium, which state they are belongs to. So that also reveals the truth that why they are selecting for Kannada medium or English medium. So like that here, the data will be separated based on their homogeneous group or characteristics, but they are part of our study only. Classification. Classification means dividing or separating the data in different groups based on their characteristics. So here definition is given by Horace Sechrist, a statistician. So Professor Horace Sechrist defines classification is the process of arranging the data into sequences and groups according to their common characteristics, or separating them into different but related part. So the definition tells, given by Horace Sechrist, that here separation of the data, whatever data we collected, they will be separated based on their characteristics. Each one of them are different, but they are related to one aspect only. So in last chapter we discussed a questionnaire given in the textbook, that is regarding implementation of English medium in primary school level. So there we collected different aspects. We have not directly collected we are not asked their question regarding whether you want to you wish to implement English medium in the first standard itself or not. Before that we have asked certain questions. They are their qualification, the qualification of the parents, and from which state they are belongs to, what is their mother tongue. So each of them, they are different questions, but they support to our main purpose here, that is implementation of English medium in the primary school level. So how it helps? So here if the parents are well qualified, obviously they go for English medium. So they wish their children should learn English medium. If they belongs to other states, they don't know Kannada, their mother tongue is not Kannada, then obviously they will go to other medium. So here that also we can come to know whether the people living in Karnataka, the people belongs to Karnataka, Kannadigas whose mother tongue is Kannada, whether they are also going for English medium or not. So how well, whether if we start English medium in future, how many students may come? So that we can analyze here. If Kannada people also want to go for English medium, then if you start a English medium school there, it will be worth. Otherwise, just based on the other state people, so they may not live here for a long time. Maybe they are coming here on the job. So if they transferred, then they will leave the school. So these all things are matter, but they are different, but related to our main purpose or main topic here. So here each of them should be separated. They are made separate groups, and in that particular group the data should be kept here. And the meaning classification is the process of arranging the data into the groups or classes according to common characteristics possessed by the items of the data. So common characteristics, based on common characteristics also we divide. So common characteristics, what is that? That is we learned already in the first chapter, variables, attributes, qualitative characteristics, quantitative characteristics, and also based on different characteristics we can divide or classify the data here. Okay, and what is the need to classify here? So can we use directly the data collected? We can use, but it will be very hectic, number of bundle of questionnaire. So one cannot read them all and go to take a decision. Maybe certain assumption can be made by observation, but it is difficult to read all the questionnaire while taking the decision. So here few objectives for what reason we should classify the collected data. So first one, to reduce the size of data. To reduce the size of data. So when we classify the data, it reduces the size. So instead of bundle of questionnaire, we can put them in one single table, and in one single table we can collect all the information. For example, if you divide the data based on their places, which state they are belongs to in that English medium. So Karnataka, Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. So like that we can divide here, and from Karnataka how many people responded, from Maharashtra, so how many people are living in our native place and they responded. So that all things we can come to know in just one single table. So that is, it reduces the size of the data. And second one, to bring the similarities together. To bring the similarities together. So similarities. For example, Kannada people, Kannada speaking people, whether they want to go for English medium. So they can separately mention here, Karnataka people, and they want to go for English medium. No doubt Maharashtra people, Kerala people, Tamil Nadu people, North Indian people, they go for English medium. Okay, along with that, we can also separate here and we put together in the similarities, all similarities in one single table here. And next third, it to facilitate comparison. So comparison we can make here. So how many Kannadigas go for English medium and how many Kannadigas don't want to go for English medium. So we can compare how many people responded. Out of them, how many are going for English medium and how many are not going for English medium. And also we can divide in different ways also. So here based on qualification, if we take how many 10th completed parents wants their students to go for English medium, how many post-graduated parents wants to go their children to English medium. So those are everything we can compare here. So this classification helps in comparing the different kinds of data here. So to facilitate comparison, we classify the data. And next one, to give importance to significant features. To give importance to significant features of the data. So next point, to give importance to significant feature of the data. So here certain features which are irrelevant, we can avoid them. Also which are important points, so we can collect them and we can put in a separate table, so which can be referred for our analysis here. So here irrelevant data will be eliminated. That is possible by classifying the data, which is not necessary, that we can avoid. And last objective is to enable further statistical analysis. So further statistical analysis. With a bundle of questionnaire, we can't do anything. Just we can read them. So Kannada people, they want to go for English medium or not, we can read just, but we can't come to a conclusion. So when we put the same data in the table form or frequency table or in a graph, we can go for further analysis, calculation of average or calculation of standard deviation, calculation of relationship. So Kannada people want to go for English medium or not. So we can find the relationship here, whether they have positive correlation or negative correlation. So, and qualification and English medium. So we can take a judgment here, what they want exactly. What is the relation? How the qualification is increasing, whether they want to go for English medium or not. So whether it's showing a positive correlation or negative correlation. So that all things we can do when we classify the data. Otherwise we can't do anything with just questionnaires. So these are the objectives to classify the data. Now we'll discuss various types of classifications. So here first classification based on their geographical location. Geographical classification. So geographical, the name itself indicates here classification is done based on the geographical location. It may be name of the cities. So when we are studying for here Kannada medium and English medium, so different states people also living in our state, and whether they want to go for which medium, that also we want to know. So when different state people are there, we can classify the data based on the location. So Maharashtra people, Kerala people, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and North India. So here we can divide the data or classify the data based on geographical locations. How many people are belongs to which state? So how many people belongs to different states are going for English medium or Kannada medium? So those all we can come to know here when we divide the data based on the geographical location. So geographical location is not just a states here. It may be any location. If you are studying a particular district, then all talukas in that district may be our geographical locations. And if you are studying a taluka, then all the villages, gram panchayats, they will be our locations here, geographical location. So we can divide if you take example of Dharwad district, in Dharwad there are now 7 talukas: Hubli, Dharwad, Annigeri, Navalgund, and Alnavar, Kundugod. So these all talukas we can divide. And when we come to Hubli, so Hubli has hundreds of villages. We can divide the data based on the village names. And when we are studying for entire globe, entire world, so we can divide the data based on countries. Now corona details in the newspaper you might be getting in the form of, that is a geographical location. So America, India, Brazil, China, Spain, England, so different countries. What are the number of COVID cases there? That table also given separately. And also when it comes to India, separate table we get with the names of different states: Maharashtra, Karnataka, Jammu Kashmir, Delhi, and different states. How many cases are there? And when it comes to Karnataka, so here we divide the data based on the districts: Dharwad district, Mysore, Bangalore Nagarantara, Bangalore Gramantara, then Bidar, Gulbarga, Bijapur, all districts name, all 30 districts, and how many COVID patients are there in those districts. And when it comes to Dharwad district, then again we divide based on talukas. So like that here, geographical location, it may be any location which we are taking into account. Then second one comes chronological classification. So chronological means here in the order of time. So certain data we may collect based on the, according to the different time period. So best example is population census conducted by Indian government. So here once in the 10 year it will be collected. So we can collect the data 1951, 1961, 1971 till 2011. So here in the chronological order, based on the time period, the class data is divided. In 2011, what is the population? In 1951, what is the population? Those, in that manner we write here. And even for different aspect, time period will be different here. When we are learning the profits earned by the companies, then we take year. And if we take example of Tata Steel, so in the year 2019, what is the profit of Tata Steel? In the year 2018, 2017, 2016, so like that we go on taking the profit for a different years. And when it comes to sales, sales may be collected for different months, or maybe for quarterly, okay, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, or maybe January, February, March, like that the data will be written here. Okay, so here 1 month, time span is 1 month, January, February, 3 months, so January to March, April to June, like that. And even the time may be a week, all 7 days. So what is the students, number of students attended in a week? So Monday, 100 students, Tuesday, 80 students, Wednesday, 95 students, Thursday, 50 students. So like that here we can write the data based on the days also. And even in a day also we can divide the data in hours, or maybe minutes, or maybe even seconds. So share market, if you take example, the price of a share market fluctuates always. So shares price in the share market, it fluctuates, every second it fluctuates. So maybe we, at the beginning of the, when market opens, we can write what is the opening price. Then every hour, what is the price, we go on writing. At 9 o'clock, what is the price? At 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and finally at the closing of the market, 3 o'clock, what is the price of that particular share. So hourly, or maybe even 15 minutes. So in the hospital, doctor checks the pulse rate. If the patient condition is very critical, then he check the patient's pulses every 15 minutes. So what is the pulse rate? Whether it is increasing or decreasing? What changes is going on? Temperature, body temperature, if he is suffering for the heavy flu, then so like that here, time may be anything, including second to years or 10 years or even century. India, last century ruled by whom? Previous century ruled by whom? So like that also we can divide the data. Okay. And next classification is based on their quality. So that is qualitative classification. So qualitative classification, based on the quality or qualitative characteristics, we divide the data. So gender. So when we collect the data, how many males have responded, how many females have responded? Male respondents, female respondents. Or maybe different aspects here. Employed, unemployed. Labor, worker. Based on different characteristics, we can divide the data and we can classify and write in a table. So that is qualitative classification. And when we divide these qualities in just two, if one is present, another will be absent. Male. If male is there, female will not be there. Okay. If married is there, unmarried will not be there. If he is employed, he is not unemployed. So like that here, presence of one characteristics will lead to absence of another characteristics. So if such only two characteristics are taken into account, then we call it as a dichotomous classification. In the qualitative classification, if only two characteristics are taken, that is called as a dichotomous classification. And if many characteristics are taken, then we call it as a manifold classification or contingency classification. For example, we take first total population, we divide into male, female. Dichotomous comes, only two characteristics. Again, if you want to study it in depth, then we go for further classification. So male, educated, uneducated. Female, educated, female, uneducated. Then married, unmarried. Uneducated, married, unmarried. Female educated, married, unmarried. Female uneducated, married, unmarried. And also further we can divide. Educated, married, employed, unemployed. Or self-employed. So like that here, different character. What all characteristics we can divide? So we take all of them. Then it is called as a contingency table. That table is called as a, and that classification is called as a manifold classification. So many folds will be there. Many things we classify here, not just two. Okay. And the last classification is quantitative. So quantitative, based on quantitative characteristics, that is variable. Height, weight, students' marks, the measurement, length, kg. So all numerical aspects which can be measured in terms of number. So classification is done based on that quantitative characteristics is called a quantitative classification. Height of the student, salary, wages, weight of the students, marks scored by student, the length of the road constructed by the contractor, depth of the gutter. So various aspects which can be measured, they all comes under quantitative characteristics. So these are all about different kinds of classification. And next class belongs to formation of discrete frequency distribution. So that we will discuss in our next class.